2020, what an unbelievable year. An epic episode in human history. Who knew when we started the year what kind of year it would turn into? It has been an incredible challenge. And this whole coronavirus, COVID-19, may not be over, but help is on the way. The vaccine has started to be distributed, and over the next months, we'll see a big change, and we'll be able to put this behind us so that we can look into 2021 and do this. From surviving to thriving. 2021, surviving to thriving. We can move to thriving. Our approach to the new year cannot be based on last year. We can't think that way. We have to change our thinking. We need to realize that our potential can be reached when we don't reckon to the past. There's nothing about 2020 that is going to help us to get into 2021 if we don't have a shift in the way we think. Now, it wasn't all bad. It wasn't. Here's some good things that happened. 62% of people adopted at least one healthy change in this pandemic. That's good. 65% said they have a new perspective on what really matters in life. Great. People learned new languages and how to play musical instruments, got closer to their family members, took up a hobby they've always wanted to take up, made videos, TikTok, 2 billion times, billion with a B. So was some good things that came out of the pandemic, and certainly lots more. Fair amount of negatives. 55% increase in mental health issues. 55%. 38% of people delayed or skipped altogether doctor visits. Wow, that's not good. Because people are cooped up inside so much, streaming television gone through the roof. In April, 170 billion minutes of streamed content in 1 week in April. How about this? Hard seltzer tripled in sales since last year. As a matter of fact, just the whole alcohol consumption up 14%. And you've got to understand, America is a country that consumes a lot of alcohol to begin with. So to jump up like that is just enormous. More marijuana use, $21 billion industry it's turned into. Gambling. In September, New Jersey set a record for sports betting. Lots of vices. What were once vices are now becoming habits? I hope not. Hope not. It's been a tough year. There's no way to put lipstick on a pig. It is what it is. It has been an enormously challenging year. But we're moving into a new year. A new year. How are we going to view it? Let's read out of the Bible in the book of Numbers 13. Let's just read a story or a summation of the story. I'll tell you all about it. About what happened when the Israelites sent in 12 spies to look into the promised land. 12 spies. Numbers 13, verses 30 and 31. Caleb calmed down the crowd and said, "Let's go and take the land. I know we can do it." But the other men replied, "Those people are much too strong for us." Two different ways of looking at the same situation. 10 said no. 2 said go. We can go into the promised land. A few verses earlier, look at this fruit. The land we explored is rich with milk and honey, but the people who live there are strong, and their cities are large and walled. That's what it comes down to. The promised land is an incredible place. But to get there, there are obstacles in the way. 2 said, we can do it. Listen again, Caleb, he says, speaking for the two, said, let's go and take the land. I know we can do it. The 10, they had a different response. Those people are much too strong for us. What's 2021 going to look like for you? I know we can do it, or it's too hard. I know we can move into the promises of God, or it's just too challenging, it's too overwhelming. Do we interpret our situation according to human limitations or the power of God? What's it going to be? What's it going to be in the new year? You decide. You have to decide. Are you going to come out of this incredible, unbelievable, challenging year and say more of the same? Or are you going to say, this year's going to be different. This year's going to be better. The pandemic's going the rear view. I'm looking out of the windshield. I'm not looking in the past. I'm going forward into the future. You say, Pastor Rick, I'd like to be able to do that, but I don't know how. I'm so discouraged. I'm depressed. I'm so overwhelmed by everything that has happened, and I want to look at the new year differently. But how do I do it? That's what this message is all about. That's what this message is all about. To help you to move from surviving to thriving. Here's how you do it. Identify negative thinking. First thing you have to do, identify negative thinking. The focus is all on the problems, the disappointments, the loss. That's the focus. You consume in all of the media, it's all you hear. That's all you hear. Let me just say to you, the number one way to become negative is when you allow events and circumstances to control your life. The number one way to become negative, to stay negative, to stay in defeat, to stay in 2020 thinking, is to allow events and circumstances to control you. You have to decide that you are going to look at your thinking and say, and identify negative thinking, it's got to go. Here's what negative language sounds like. Can't, but, coulda. These are indicators. When you hear these words coming out of your mouth or coming out of the mouth of other people that you know, that you hang out with, identify it. To go from surviving to thriving, you've got to get rid of the negative thinking, and you can't get rid of it unless you can identify it. When you hear these phrases, it's not fair. Nothing's going to change. It'll never be the same again. When you hear that, you know that's negative thinking, and that's not going to help you in 2021. It's not going to help you in 2021. I'm here to help you in 2021 to go from just surviving a year to having a thriving year. And it can happen. It can happen. 2 said go. 10 said no. They're too strong for us. It's too hard. The virus is still around. 2 said, I know we can do it. I know we can do it. I know we can do it. Let's go. We can do it. All this negativity, and what happens? Dreams go out the window. No more dreaming big. The beginning of a new year is an opportunity to think big, to dream big, to envision what could be, to set goals, to have resolutions. That's how it works, friends. This year's no different. Oh, this is a different year. No, last year was a different year. This year is a new year, a new opportunity. But here's what you need to know. Write it down. Security and opportunity are strangers. They're not friends. If you seek security, you're going to miss out on opportunity. And this year will be a year of opportunity. You have to be looking for it. You have to believe that it can happen. You can't live in a fear-based mentality. All that does is fill your heart and mind and your thinking with worry. It's not going to change overnight just because the calendar changes, but we're on our way to a new year, a better year, a more victorious year. Start 2021 responding in a positive manner to people, to situations, to circumstances. Think that way. I want to respond positively, not negatively. I want to enter this new year thinking in regards to circumstances, in regards to situations, in regards to people. It's going to be different. It's going to be different. And it all starts with how we think. Start this new year with a positive mindset. Get rid of the negative thinking. Don't think about the past. Think about the future. That's where it starts. Then you have to change your view. You have to change your outlook. We've all experienced pandemic problems, but you can change the way you view them. My brother-in-law and father-in-law just got out of the hospital with COVID-19 challenges. There's problems. But again, they're both out of the hospital and they're both alive. There's challenges, and there will continue to be challenges. But how do you view those challenges? How do you look at them? I've said it a million times. I'll say it a million times more. Well, maybe a million's a little big. I've said it hundreds of times. Life is what? 10% what happens to you, 90% how you respond. How you respond to it. How do you respond to it? We all went through the same thing. How do you respond to it? We look into a new year. How are you going to respond to it? Some bad things happen. Are you immediately going to hearken back to, oh, this is more of the same, this is the same? Or are you going to have a different view of it? Are you going to have a different outlook about it and say, no, this year's going to be different? 10 said it's too hard, it's too challenging, we can't do it, we can't take the promised land. 2 said we can do it. We can do it. It can be done. It is an incredible land, and we want to take advantage of it. Let's go and take the land, Caleb said. He calmed down the crowd. Let's go take this fantastic land. I know we can do it. I know we can do it. Let's take 2021. Let's take it. Take it. Grab a hold of it and say, I know I can do it. In 2021, don't let the problems have the power. Let God be God and show you his power. Let's see this as a year of miracles, of breakthroughs, and certainly of a comeback. The comeback is happening. The setback was the setup for the comeback. This is going to be a comeback year for you, for me, for all of us. Going to take advantage of it? I hope you do. Don't get preoccupied with your troubles. Have a view of winning in 2021, of victories, of success, of blessing, of favor. Have that kind of viewpoint about this new year. Enter the new year with that kind of view. 10%, what happens? 90%, how you respond to it. I'm not saying there won't be challenges. I'm not saying there won't be problems. What I am saying is, how are you going to view it? Take action against the fear. Inaction builds fear. Lack of action builds fear. Take action against the fear and defeat it. Defeat it. It's a shadow. It's a shadow. It's not real. Don't make it real. Caleb said, we can do it. We have to take action. Let's go do it. There's the land. It's an incredible land. Are there walled cities? Yes. Are there people there that we'll have to defeat? Yes. But God said he was going to go with us. God said he would help us take the land. God is with you and with me. He will be with us in a new year. He can restore back to us all that we lost in the past year. Would you like to have that experience of the restoring, the receiving back tenfold and 30-fold and 100-fold what's been lost? Does that sound good? It can happen. Activate your faith. Walk in faith, not in fear. Walk boldly into the land. Go into this new year and say, this is a year that is going to be very different from last year. Look for the blessings. Look for the opportunities. See what God can do in 2021. Keep faith focused. Keep your focus on faith. God is with you, and you will thrive in 2021. That's the focus. Here's the focus, friends. God is with me, and I'm going to thrive in 2021. God is with us, and we're going to thrive in 2021. God's with us. He's going to help us to take the land. He's going to help us to take advantage of the opportunities. He's going to help us to get where we need to get to. He's going to do it. He can do it. It can be done. We've been beaten down by this past year. There's no doubt about it. It's been a beatdown. It's time to rise up. Rise up. The negative experiences are losing ground. The victories are gaining ground. The negative experiences are losing ground. The victories are gaining ground. We're going to move forward. We're not going to survive. We're going to thrive. We're not going to lose. We're going to win. No more defeats. We're moving into victories. 2021 is going to be different, but you've got to have that faith focus. Caleb, there are challenges, but listen, I know we can do it. I know we can do it. What is he saying? I know we can do it with God's help. I know we can do it because God will be with us. I know we can do it because we have the power of God working for us. You know, it's just impossible to embrace the future when your wrists are tied to the past. Embrace the future. Embrace 2021. Embrace thriving. Don't let yourself be chained back here to the surviving of the pandemic. I made it through. I just made it through. I don't know how much longer. No, embrace the future. Embrace the future. Embrace 2021 and thriving. And it can be done. It can be done. Approach each day with faith, believing that God is going to work. He's going to work. Good things are going to happen. Blessings and favor are going to come. We are going to put this incredible challenge behind us, and we're going to have a better, greater, happier new year. It's not going to happen overnight. It's going to be step by step. How do you take the land, right? How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. How do you take the land? One step at a time. It's not going to happen overnight, but it can happen. But it has to start right now, right at the beginning of the year. Weeks in January, into February, into March, and we're on our way, marching forward, taking the land, gaining ground. Get your mind right. No more negative thinking, faith-filled. Get your view and outlook changed. Have your focus on what God can do, believe that 2021 can be an incredible year. A year so massively different than 2020. Like never before in your life or mine is there going to be such a difference one year to the next. It's going to be amazing. And it will be amazing if you get your thinking right, if you get your viewpoint right, if you are focused in a faith direction. Enough of the fear, enough of the worry. All it's done is keep you in inaction, right? Paralysis, fear, paralyzes, keeps us stuck. No more of that. Faith is about action. It's about moving forward. It's about taking steps. It's about taking the land. God promised this land to the Israelites. He said it's yours. It's the best real estate on earth, and it's yours. And what was the response of the people? 10 said, we can't do it. 2 said, we can do it. 10 said no, 2 said go. Let's go. Let's realize our God-given potential. Let's experience what God has for us, which is a year of thriving, not just surviving. Believing in the power of God, not on our own limitations, but in what God can do. Enter this new year this way. And friends, it's going to be a great new year. Let's pray together. Lord, I just thank you because I know your promises remain. And as challenging and difficult and hard as 2020 was, we know you have so much better for us in 2021. Take us out of survival mode and place us into thriving, to blessings and victories. Help everyone listening to my voice right now to make that shift in their thinking, in their viewpoint, in their focus. Help them to be able to enter this new year thinking and acting differently. And God bless us, bless our church, bless all your people. Help us, God, to move forward into all the exciting opportunities you have for us in 2021. And I pray that in Jesus' name, amen. God bless you, folks. Happy New Year.